Watch what you bet here on That Betting Show, Teddy. We're going to head off to the Windy City, and the Mets are going to leave Atlanta and head there. Yesterday, the wind blowing in and a dominant pitcher on the mound didn't seem to calm down those Chicago Cubs bats. So they put up 7 runs in a 7-3 victory yesterday, easily covering the side and the total in that game. Take a look tonight, 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time, MLB Extra Innings, Wrigley Field. The Mets are 35-39 on the season. Cubs are 40-33. Going to be Lockett versus Chatwood tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Lockett making his Mets debut. He had 4 games, 3 starts with the Padres last year, 0-3 with a 9.60 ERA in 15 innings. Don't worry about that too seriously. But obviously filling in here for Noah Syndergaard, who's on the injured list due to a strained right hamstring. Mickey Callaway, quote, he's been throwing the ball over the plate. A guy who has 4 walks in 31 innings in the minors. He's healthy. He's a guy that we brought into the organization this offseason to be that 6th starter, that depth starter that we knew we need at some point. So, even though his numbers aren't ridiculous and last year his call-up numbers were really dicey, Mets are saying, hey, this is what we planned for. He's our guy. We think he'll do fine. Markets don't like Tyler Chatwood. And certainly when you think about what's happened with Chatwood's career since arriving in Chicago, you can't say they blame him. $38 million deal, and basically he pitched his way out of the rotation. He's pitching in the starting role here because Kyle Hendricks is on the DL. Joe Madden, quote, he's been pitching a lot better. He came here for a specific reason. We believed he's earned this opportunity to pitch in this situation. Chatwood's quote, it's gratifying. I feel like I've thrown the ball pretty well. I feel fresh. I think I'm in a better spot than I was last time in late April when I threw 70-something pitches last time. I can understand why the Cubs are not big chalk in this game. All that being said, that was an impressive win over Giolito yesterday. There could be some strong momentum carried forward from that, especially after the Mets felt good about themselves and then got slapped around immediately one day after their players-only meeting that resulted in a Tuesday night bonus and then a Wednesday night loss.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see what comes out because as we know, Chatwood, Teddy, he does have some pretty good stuff, strikeout ability, but he always gets himself in trouble. Too many walks an inning. They count just as much as base hits half the time. If you're going to go 5 or 6 innings and give up 6 or 7 walks, that's never going to help, especially in a place like Wrigley. How about this next series we're going to talk about, Teddy? One team coming off a sweep, one team getting swept. The Rays coming out of Yankee Stadium, losers of 3 straight there. Tough interdivision games. Now you're going to fly out west. We're going to take a look at the Oakland Athletics. Hey, everybody loves to play those Baltimore Orioles. They sweep the Orioles out of town. The Rays and the Athletics tonight, nice little line in this one, Teddy. -110 in the favor of the Athletics, a total of 7.5. The Rays, 43-31 on the season. The Athletics, 39-36. Those A's bats coming alive. Big series for them as well. But those Rays, Teddy, got to cut the bleeding somewhere here.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams battled for the second wild card berth last year, and it looks like they may well battle for the second wild card game this year. These are meaningful games between Tampa and Oakland. Of course, they played a meaningful game 2 weeks ago down in Tampa, and Charlie Morton mowed down this A's lineup. 7 innings, 2 hits. They won, 6-2 in that ballgame. Morton was on fire. At that point, this was June 10th, 10 days ago. Rays were 9 games ahead of the A's in the wild card days. Well, since then, Tampa's lost 7 of 9. The A's have won 6 of 8. And now, all of a sudden, things are getting real interesting between these two teams, after, obviously Tampa got swept over the course of the week. Now, Morton had not lost, his team hadn't lost he hadn't lost in 21 games dating back to last August, but he lost his last start against the Angels. Quote, those kind of games, you make a couple of mistakes and you pay for them. The Angels put some really good swings on those pitches. A nice quote from Bob Melvin here, talking about Oakland right now. These guys showed fight last year. They're fighters. We've gone through a little bit tougher stretches this year and been tested, but these guys are really good about putting a game away and going out there and playing for that day, playing 100%, and doing the same thing the next day, no matter what happens. Boy, I like Morton. He's not a guy I'm in any rush to bet against, but I like the way these A's are playing. Tough one for me to get involved in.
Should be an interesting one here coming up, Teddy, as Mayabum tries to cool off those Dodger bats. After a while, we talked about it a few times on the show. Dodgers only a couple runs here and there, but their bullpen was holding up. Their starting pitching was holding up. And now we're seeing back-to-back 9 spots by those Los Angeles Dodgers. So Mayabum's going to take them out tonight. And he's getting a lot of support here. Dodgers favored at -175 with a total of 7.5 tonight. 10-10 start live from Dodger Stadium. Giants are 31-41 on the season. Dodgers, how about this one, Teddy? First one there, 50-25 on the season, including an outrageous 30-9 at home. Can Man Bum cool those bats off? But more importantly, can those Giants get some base hits, Teddy?
Well, you want to talk about a little under the radar angle. In June, the Dodgers, talk about team totals, 17 games in June for LA. Their opponent has scored 15 in 3 or less in 15 of those 17 games. So you've been betting the Dodgers opponents team totals under. You got a bonanza going right now. You're rolling in cash because it hasn't just been one starter after the next. It's been the bullpen behind them, game in, game out. This Dodgers staff has been tremendous. And you have a Giants team that can't hit. And that's a problem for San Fran. All that being said, Bumgarner against the Dodgers, I mean, he's been special. He's been special repeatedly. And this may well be his last start as a Giant against LA. You know, Bumgarner gave up that home run to Muncy last time he faced the Dodgers. That was the only run of the game. I would not be surprised at all if we see another pitcher's duel at Dodger Stadium this evening.